where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland, this is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew J. Polk. Josie Ortegon is off this weekend. Breaking news overnight, one person is dead after a rollover on the east side of El Paso. It happened on I-10 east near East Lake just after 10 o'clock last night near mile marker 35. This is video from our round-the-clock news team who was on the scene just after 1 a.m. I-10 east and westbound lanes were all shut down. According to Public Affairs Director for the El Paso Sheriff's Department, the crash involved a Honda Civic and an 18-wheeler. The semi rolled over and the male driver of that semi was taken to an area hospital where he died from his injuries. El Paso Police, the Sheriff's Office, and the Department of Public Safety all responded to the scene. The Sheriff's Office is still conducting their investigation to see what caused the accident. Miraculously, the two people inside that mangled Honda Civic were not injured.
We don't know if it hit the truck or if it got in the way of the truck, but the semi is on the side. There was a driver and a passenger in the vehicle. No injuries.
The male passenger of the semi-truck was taken to an area hospital where he is being treated with injuries. None of the identities of the people involved have been released. The Sheriff's Office is still conducting their investigation to see what caused the accident. And I-10 is still having some traffic diverted in both directions in that area. Stay with us on air and online for the latest on this investigation. And moving to stormtrack weather now, let's get your first forecast with storm tracker Dan Martinez. Dan, how's it looking outside?
You know what, still cold this morning nonetheless, but we are not tracking those winds this morning. As strong at least as what we were seeing earlier yesterday. Let's talk about what we have outside first with a look at Powell Elementary School, one of our WeatherNet sites out in northeast El Paso. Clear skies this morning to give you a view outside of how things are. And you see that here also on clouds and radar. Really a quiet picture overall today. We're going to have a nice day with those sunny skies, 43 degrees at noon, 46 at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and by 5 we'll be at 44 degrees. As far as what we are going to see today, sunny skies again, and the possibility for that rain to come back into the future. I want to show you what we have going on now. The wind's not much of a problem. These are the wind chill factors that you're seeing here. It feels like 26 degrees outside in El Paso, same in Las Cruces. So keep that in mind as you head out and about this morning. Andrew?
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. I appreciate it. Now to a house fire that displaced one family this weekend. It happened just before 7 o'clock Friday on the 2300 block of Lake Omega. Fire officials tell us the fire started in the attic, and the El Paso Fire Department also says that the cause of the fire was a faulty fireplace. The family who lives in the home was able to evacuate safely, though the smoke alarms were not working in the house at the time of the fire. The El Paso Fire Department would like to remind people that almost 2/3 of home fires happen in homes with missing or broken smoke alarms. Be sure to check yours out today as well. El Paso police say 2 men were stabbed outside a party in East El Paso early Saturday morning. Investigators say a fight broke out outside a home in the 11,300 block of Lake Loy. 2 men were stabbed in the altercation. The victims were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made so far in this case. And as you head out the door today, we have some closures around town you'll want to keep in mind as you drive around. Starting tonight at 9 p.m. through Friday at 6 a.m., the westbound lanes on Interstate 10 will be completely closed between the Paisano exit ramp and the Reynolds entrance ramp. Westbound traffic will be exiting at that Reynolds exit ramp and re-entering at the Reynolds entrance ramp. Crews in that area will be working on the Spaulding repair project. Also on the east side of town, near that same area, the eastbound lanes of I-10 between the KVIA overpass and the Paisano entrance ramp will be closed starting tomorrow at 10 p.m. That closure will be through Thursday at 6 a.m. Crews in that area will be working on the second phase of the aesthetics project, so give yourself some extra time if you're out tonight, and of course this week if you're going to be going through those areas. And in the constant cold rain, police continued to pay their respects to the family of fallen officer Wenjian Liu. Liu was an immigrant who found his American dream in an NYPD uniform. Yesterday, he wore his blues in an open casket. ABC's Jessica Jagolis reports.
A long line of blue marched into this Brooklyn funeral parlor where a broken family sat weeping. A newlywed wife, now widow, and distraught parents, now childless, received a host of VIPs today, from Mayor Bill de Blasio and Police Commissioner Bill Bratton to Congressman Peter King. Governor Andrew Cuomo, broken-hearted himself over the loss of his father, took time to mourn for the slain officer.
We have to stop any fights within the family, and we have to come together as the family of New York and stand strong. And that's a message for all New Yorkers.
2 weeks ago, 32-year-old Wenjian Liu and his partner, 40-year-old Rafael Ramos, were in their patrol car in Brooklyn when a gunman, without warning, assassinated both officers. While the city recoiled in shock, tensions broke the surface between the NYPD and mayor. At Ramos's funeral last week, hundreds of officers turned their backs on the mayor. Today, some saluted him after Bratton asked his rank and file to show respect. This as police from across the country arrive to show support.
We are not here for the politics of the NYPD, and we're here solely to support the Liu family and the NYPD brother and sister officers here.
Solidarity, one word. When we lose an officer anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, we all feel it.
They were just crying. They hold my hands and I said, "Go take care of yourself."
Now on to international news developing now. Today marks the 8th day of search and recovery efforts in the crash of AirAsia Flight 8501. These maps from the Indonesian Rescue Agency shows today's area of focus. Crews are moving the primary search area to the east as ocean current shifts debris and bodies. The 31st victim was found earlier today. More wreckage was spotted overnight as well, described as an object about 10 meters long. And 8 crew members are missing after a cargo vessel overturned off the coast of Scotland. British Coast Guard responded to distress call Saturday afternoon. Photos show the ship going completely vertical with one end sticking out of the water. Lifeboat crews searched for survivors until sundown. A tugboat stayed on the scene overnight to warn other ships in the area. 2 search and rescue helicopters were also involved in the operation. And still ahead on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend. We didn't see much of the snow after the winter weather advisory, but Jack Frost definitely made his appearance in the borderland. We'll explain coming up. Also a story you'll see only on ABC7. Friends and family celebrate the lives of the 2 brothers killed on Christmas Eve. And it is right now 8:08. Taking a look at traffic right now. Still seeing some of that traffic being diverted and slowed down on I-10 near Eastlake. Looks like some of it is still moving, while some people cutting across the freeway, so be careful if you're driving in those areas. And then, of course, we'll also have your stormtrack weather up next.
That's right. We are seeing those cold temperatures again this morning. But how long will they last, and when are we going to see some rain again? We'll talk about that coming up.
You're watching ABC7, where news comes first.